retirement with Singapore bank stocks, OCBC, DBS, or UOB. Okay, so today we're going to look into the bank sector. This is one of the most popular, whether is it a beginner trader or even veteran investor in Singapore. Okay, so over the years, I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money through Singapore bank stocks, and that's the reason why everybody, they like to buy these stocks. Okay, because for the long run, Singapore banks has been doing very, very, very well. Okay, so if you still do not know this, right? Okay, basically, this is one of the good dividend and uptrend stocks. Okay, good dividend and uptrend stocks. So for long term, okay, definitely is usually the strategy is what we call buy on dip. Okay, buy on dip. When the price drop, that's the entry point. When the price drop, that's where people will take a few $1,000 or even $30,000-$50,000 to get into the market. All right, so it's now good time. Okay, is it now good time for the DBS, UOB, OCBC bank, or what is happening in the global bank sector? So today what we're going to do is we're going to go through this. Okay, so before I start, please remember to like and subscribe this channel, because every like, every subscribe actually help me to build this channel and give me a lot of confidence. And I thanks a lot of people in the previous video. They give me the encouragement and give me the like and subscribe. I really thankful for that. Okay, so quickly let's dive in, okay, to the Singapore bank. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the one of the basic things is what we call the dividend. Okay, so at current price, right, let's say for OCBC, the dividend is 5.29%. Okay, the UOB is about 5.1%, and for DBS is 5.18%. So you can say that on average, these three banks, they actually give this what we call about 5% dividend, 5+% dividend. Okay, is it good? I say it's actually pretty good, because what you do here is sometimes people say, hey, I put the money in the bank, how much am I getting? Why not I also invest some of my money in the bank stocks? Okay, you see, Singapore sometimes are very sensitive. If you say that, oh, put all the money in the bank stock, what if this drop, what if that drop? So we say that, what if you put some, right? So over here, one of the misconception a lot of people have is they always think that buying the stocks like this, $44 is expensive. This is the biggest misconception a lot of people have. Okay, they always think that, oh, I should buy Genting. I should buy Genting Singapore because Genting Singapore is cheap now. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the wrong concept. The wrong concept is buying cheap doesn't mean it's buying good. Okay, so you must always understand that you want to look for quality, not quantity. This one, although if you buy $10,000, you can buy a lot of shares. For DBS, if you use $10,000, basically you can only buy about 200 shares plus. Okay, 200 shares. Okay, so in Singapore, okay, 100 shares minimum, right? So 100 shares is about $4,000, 4,004, 2,000 shares is about 9,009, right? So over here, okay, so what is happening here? Is now a good time to get in. Okay, so previous video I also mentioned that, hey, maybe the real support is at $38. That is the really crisis kind of support. So if it's like 2024 like that crash, if it's like 2025 like that crash, then the highest, what we call the strong support, is at about $38 for DBS. Okay, however, for short term, what is happening here is there is this what we call short-term support or short-term resistance. So if you look at what's happening here is now is facing a resistance. Now it's facing a resistance. Short-term resistance is at 44, and then followed by another resistance at 45. Okay, so for DBS, okay, with DBS, for if you do not have any shares, you want to buy a little bit is fine, but this is not the best time. Okay, this is not the best time. And what about the outlook? Okay, the outlook of Singapore Bank. If you look at what's happening about over a month ago, okay, over a month ago, about in May, right? Okay, so a lot of these forecasts, a lot of this prediction is about recession. It's about, the what we call uncertainty. It's about this crisis. It's about this Donald Trump having this trade war. Okay, so a lot of this is talking about the trade war and everything. But what we see here right now is this is already kind of like over. Okay, it's kind of like over. So this is kind of like old news. So without this, okay, without this, by right, the market should be still continue to be strong. Okay, so in other words, in summary, what's happening here is, before that, everybody's worried about recession, everybody's about this trade war, and we have an election, and the election also tell you about, hey, you must stay together, everybody must support each other, must stay together, must work harder, right? Okay, it's going to have tough time. Okay, so what happened is didn't really have tough time. Okay, so in fact the market rebound very strongly. Okay, ever since. Okay, and over here, like what you see, all these headlines, right? All these headlines is in May. Okay, it's in May. So they're still talking about potential loss and everything. Okay, but actually it's kind of be a bit positive. Okay, so if you look at like some of these news that is in May, right? Okay, so maintain 2025 guidance. Maintain 2025 guidance, sets out credit alliance, challenging economic outlook. Okay, looking ahead, the heightened uncertainty brought about the shift of trade policy to political risk. Okay, okay, are expected to have dampening effect on economic growth. Okay, so we are prudent, set aside allowance to buffer our portfolio and look forward basis in the view of challenging outlook. Okay, so what's happening here is they have this thing called net interest margin. Okay, what is the net interest margin is all about? Okay, basically, as long as the Federal Reserve delay all this cut, this cut interest rate, what the bank can do is don't cut so much first lah. Okay, understand what I mean? Okay, so bank will be very reluctant to cut their interest rate as long as the user didn't complain. Okay, the people who borrow the loan didn't really complain. So in other words, if you look at OCBC, if you look at this, what we call what's happening is right now, okay, compared to the last 2 months, okay, it is slightly lower. Okay, but today we see that the stock start to rebound. Stock to rebound. Okay, so for short-term strategy, we usually use this thing called bottom master. Bottom master. For short-term strategy, we use bottom master. And for mid-term, we look at position trade. Position trade. So in the mid-term view, right? This is in red. Is it good? In red is not good. In red is telling me that, oh, this is bearish. Okay, this period is bearish. This in red is actually for midterm is bearish. Okay, and for short term, what's happening here? For short term, this green color is the support level. So this is the previous support level. This is the previous resistance level. Okay, so in other words, we are at this level where we are kind of like at the support level, also kind of like have a short-term resistance. So in other words, for a short-term investor, this is considered a pullback. This is considered a pullback, and today is the first day of the move. Okay, which means if you get in on the first day of the move, or maybe for short term, there is some kind of this kind of a spike. For short term, they might have some kind of this kind of a spike. Okay, this kind of a spike. Okay, so all start with what? Start with a pullback and then a short term and good entry. Okay, it's actually a good entry for short term. Okay, so over here, okay, what about the UOB? Right, UOB. So UOB also had a pullback for about a month already since May. Okay, this gap up, right? So it pull back. And right here, over here, we have a bottom signal again. So the previous time bottom signal happened is here. Okay, so what happened is there is a spike up. Okay, which is not bad for short term. There's a spike up. That's good. There's a good entry. Actually, it's a good entry. But what happened is trade war happened, right? So there's a crash over here. And subsequently, there is another bottom signal here. Bottom signal. So bottom signal tell us that, oh, maybe this could be the short-term bottom. It could be the short-term bottom. And there's a spike up. And followed by last few days, there is a short-term bottom. Okay, short-term bottom. Okay, so by the way, we don't inform you last few days, right? Why? Because this video over here, I actually make it a point to record it every week. So if you subscribe to this channel, you will get my video every week. Okay, so over here, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Okay, subscribe to this channel. Okay, so you get update every week on what are some of the opportunities. So if you look at this entry point, right, this is a good entry point. If you look at this entry point, this is a good entry point. If you look at this entry point, this is a kind of like a good entry point. And over here is also pretty potential. Okay, potential. That means the price already start moving. If you look at this entry point, what happened? Oh my god. Okay, this is what happened. This after the bottom signal. After the bottom signal, the stock crash. Okay, the stock crash. So when we look at this bottom strategy, right? Okay, it's nothing wrong about being wrong. Okay, what we do is we have a kind of like a stop loss. Okay, stop loss. Stop loss means what? If the price go below the bottom signal, that's where we put our stop loss. So in this case, it hit the stop loss and then it went down. So let's say you buy $10,000, right? You buy $10,000 and then the price drop, it hit your stop loss, you lose maybe $300. You lose $300 with 9,700. At the next bottom, you can re-enter and also set a stop loss. Okay, also set a stop loss. Understand? So you re-enter with 9,007, you get in, then that's where your 9,007 remaining money actually grow, right? So this is a good entry with the bottom signal, and then after that, from here onwards, wow, the price went even higher. Okay, went even higher. Understand? So when you look at this, right, you say, hey, still expensive, eh? Still expensive. You see it? Okay, still expensive. You don't know that it will go up. Nobody know. Okay, nobody know. So that is a good entry. Okay, so another one is here. That is a good entry. So at this point, there's a bottom signal. So it didn't went down. Instead, it went up. Okay, so even though it went down, okay, it hit your stop loss. What you do is you can re-enter when price go above the bottom signal. So this is the previous one in 2023. So the bottom signal is telling me that it is cheap. Okay, at this point, there is some kind of a discount. At this point, it's already discount. So there is some kind of a discount. So of course, over here, you probably didn't get in. Why? Because the price didn't go above. So if the price didn't go above, you wait for the next bottom signal, and when the price go above, that's where you enter. Understand? So this bottom signal actually is designed for the bank stocks. Okay, I designed it like 10 over years ago. Okay, 10 over years ago. So it's good for people who like to buy on dip. Okay, and banks are good for buying on dip. Okay, so what do you think? Okay, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. If you want to find out more, okay, by the way, you can follow us. Okay, follow me on this channel. Okay, and of course, we have other stocks that is doing very well, like some of the US stocks that's doing very well. Okay, some of the US portfolio is doing very well. Okay, so if you want to find out more about all these, okay, you can subscribe to this channel, and around this channel you can get to our link. You can message me on Telegram. Okay, you look for this Win Big Trend. Okay, this is about 2,000 followers. Okay, also you can follow our Facebook. Usually we talk about Malaysia stocks. Okay, so you can contact us. Okay, and look out for this. Okay, look out for this Caleb Gun. Okay, Caleb Gun. So you can copy this link. Okay, copy this link. You can join this Caleb Gun channel. Okay, Caleb Gun channel. So Gun Caleb. Okay, so over here, later I will put this link in the comment, and you can join this Caleb Gun channel. Okay, so this channel, what's in it for you, right? Okay, sometimes we will post some of these stocks, and you can look out for these stocks and our upcoming webinar. Okay, all right. So in short, as what we see, okay, the bank stocks, okay, in Hong Kong, HSBC, right, HSBC. If you look at HSBC, actually is looking good. Okay, it's looking good. It's breaking into new high. Okay, breaking into new high. So banks are doing well actually. Okay, so if you look at OCBC, okay, not yet break new high. Okay, not yet break new high. Haven't really go into a new high. Okay, if you look at this like a China bank, okay, let's say Bank of China, okay, Bank of China. So the regional Chinese bank, they are all on this kind of a big uptrend. Okay, on this kind of big uptrend, make it a new high and all that. So UOB, all right, all this not yet, okay, not yet break into new high. And this, we are in the pullback session. This is what we call a resting zone. And like what I say, with all this bottom signal, you can actually you can actually kind of like look at this bottom signal as a short-term pullback, because at the previous point over here, nobody know, okay, nobody know after this bottom signal, okay, after this bottom signal, there is a big move over here. Nobody know, okay, nobody know. But you can tell that this bottom signal is a small discount. It's a small discount. So now it's not a big discount. Big discount is at 32, at 31. This is a big discount. Okay, you do not expect it to go all the way down, but if there is the kind of a move, we usually move our reserve fund, okay, move our reserve fund into the stock market. But for now, okay, it's a short-term trading opportunity with a bottom signal and a stop loss of about maybe 3% stop loss. All right, if for somebody who want to hold for dividend, no problem. Okay, if you don't want to stop loss, then the dividend yield, okay, if you're satisfied with the dividend yield, then you can hold for long term, no problem, right? That depends on individual choice. All right. So okay, so what do you think, right? What do you think about these banks? Are they going up or going down? Let me know in the comment. I would really like to know what you all see. Okay, is the bank stock going up? Okay, what is the bank stock going up? So let me know in the chat. Are you in or not? How long have you been investing in the bank stocks? Okay, I really want those people who make money from bank stocks. Okay, let other people know, right? Let other people know that bank stocks actually is one of the good investment in Singapore, and it have actually retired a lot of people and helped a lot of people pay off their housing debts, or even buy condo and all that. Okay, so if you have such experience, let us know. We like to read your story, read your comment, and inspire some people who are still learning. Okay, so thank you for watching this. I end this video here. Next video, let me know what you want to hear about, and then we will talk about more about other stocks. Okay, so I see you in the next video. Remember, we do this video every week, and don't miss it. Subscribe to this channel, and I see you in the next video.